Welcome back for another video. It has been a while, been on holiday, been doing lots of thinking. I did a bit more investigation into the speed controller in the Jaguar that we took to Le Mans, and I've spoken to the manufacturer. That's the one that was in the Jaguar. Just tried another one there. Everyone at Le Mans was using sort of cheap Chinese speed controllers, and none of them went wrong. And I'm thinking, wow, I've used this company here in the UK, and both of them have gone wrong when I've gone to Le Mans, and it's quite a long way to go. And so yeah, I think I've had enough of those. And the equivalent kind of Chinese version is like 14 quid, and these are 120, and I'm using them within the parameters laid out, but yeah, they just don't seem to be doing the job. So when that's the moan and the rant over, when I put the Ferrari together, I put a VESC Benjamin Vedder type speed control on, which was this one with the pink motor, and it worked quite well. Then I changed to a Flipski motor who made the controller, and it wasn't as torquey. Seems to be quite a lot of differences with motors. There's the sort of KV, which is how many revolutions per volt it dictates the rotational speed. But the other thing with the Jaguar is I still want to run the axle because it's got a diff in it, and it's got a drop down drive. When I ran this in the Ferrari, I used a chain drive off of a go-kart, so it's a go-kart sprocket on there, and it worked quite well. But obviously with a chain drive you haven't got a differential, the diff's already in there. So these are two motors that I got quite a while ago. These are 8018s, two different types, 100 kVA and 105. I don't know what the characteristics are going to be like for these, but I thought if I could make a mounting bracket, remove the brushed motor, I'd get better efficiency and much lighter weight, because that thing weighs best part of 10 kilos, 8 kilos. It's quite heavy, whereas these are like a few hundred grams. I think these are 32 pole. So with the drop down ratio in the gearbox, these should, or one of these should work. The VEC speed controls seem to work quite well. I put this one in the Porsche, and it's tiny, and it never got hot. Even well, I was running water cooling on this. But I kind of thought, I changed it because I kind of thought it would be a problem. It was a bit too complicated, although a lot of this is just for the power, not management, just to assess it on the dashboard that I had. So a lot of that's unnecessary. There's an on-off switch in there which sort of loads up slowly rather than just being like a throw switch. But it didn't actually go wrong, and there wasn't anything wrong with it. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do and what they said it was going to do, and so I'm going back down that route. But brushless, which is obviously 3-phase, which is what these are. But with this controller, this was a controller that I used in the Ferrari, and the only problem with this is that I don't think it would use a pot at the time, but now the software does do pot or Hall effect or PWM, because I think I was running it on PWM, which then meant I had some radio control bits and it was kind of overly complicated. But now I think I can run that with the Hall effect throttle that's already in here, and it's, yeah, much more compact, it's waterproof, it's on a piece of aluminium as a heatsink. Could put it on an actual, could put it on the heatsink that's in there, on that one. Yeah, I think I've had enough of the MOSFETs. Thought about taking the MOSFETs because the manufacturer said the MOSFETs may have failed on this. I don't know why they would do that because it was stationary at the time. Thought about taking the MOSFETs off one of these Chinese ones, but they're probably different, and it looks like a bit of a ball ache really, from where they are. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to this sort of controller, I think, and then I won't need to run the water-cooled motor because these don't really get hot, and obviously air goes through them. This one is almost like a fan in itself. Don't know if you can see that. It's got sort of vanes on that section which spins. So I'll have to make an adapter up to bolt on here to go into the drive on the transaxle I've got. So that is the plan. I'm going to try and simplify it, go a bit more modern. I can still use the drum switch because one of the issues with regenerative braking is if you have a if you can't disable or disconnect the speed control, it's trying to stop it if you have to push it anywhere. So if I keep the drum switch that I've got, which is that blue thing there, going onto that lever, then I can still disable to push it. So yeah, I'm going to try and swap that over and see where we go. I'm not sure if they're going to have enough torque, not sure if they're going to have enough RPM, but I'll probably still use the two 6S batteries that I was using in it before and see where we go with speed. I'll do a motor load speed on that, and yeah, just try and tidy up the wiring, simplify everything. No water cooling needed. Bosh. Famous last words. That is going to be in the next video. Thanks for watching. So tagging on from there, that was going to be the end of the video, but I've done an extra bit of testing really. So I got the VEC to work, tried it with the black motor and the gold motor. These both drew about 40 amps, but the pink motor drew 76, I think, so that's obviously a much more powerful motor. But there's still the problem about it hasn't got reverse, has got regenerative braking, but you need a second pot or second Hall effect sensor to give you proportional braking. You won't just do it as the pedal comes off the power. So I've taken a plunge and bought a Chinese speed control off Amazon. This was about 50 quid. It's supposed to have 18 MOSFETs in it. I might take it apart and have a look. It's got a 72 volt sticker on it. I think that's maximum, and it's 2000 watt, which is about 40 to 50 amps, I think. So similar sort of power to what I've been using the other controller with, but obviously it didn't continue to work. Got another one of those pink motors. They were an eBay find. This one feels like it's got stronger magnets. I don't actually know the spec of them, but I know they're 14 pole and they draw quite a bit of current. So I'm going to chuck one of those on the mobility scooter axle and hook this up and see how it is, how it performs. Hasn't really got very much info. Instructions kind of say it's going to self-learn, so that'll be interesting. Don't know if I need to use all of these connectors or whether it will work with minimal connectors. So that is what I'm going to get on with, and that will be in the next video. Thanks for watching.